Hello and welcome guys, this is Betsy here doing our very first Let's Build. What I'm going to build in this start of the series is in fact a castle in my medieval kingdom. What you can actually see here is the entrance to the castle across the bridges and stuff. It's not all finished yet obviously, but this is what we will achieve in this first episode and I'm going to show you how I achieved it. Just doing a quick pan through now, and what we will in a minute jump to is when I built the foundations of the castle and the outlines of where everything's going to go. So as you can see here, now this is me throwing down the foundations. This meant so like I never went out of sizes. Everything's in its perfect size and like nothing overlaps, nothing like I'll look back later and think, oh, that's all ski whiff. It all will look perfect in the end. So as you can see, I'm just rapidly building like a little entry. This is going to be an entry arch with two towers defending it, so that square will be an archway of people walking through. And then in a moment you'll see me, you'll go through this archway between the towers and across this bridge that I'm laying out now. This bridge is what it's going to lead to is in fact a courtyard. I'm just going to have to double layer everything here because as you can see, you might be able to see in the quick the quick speed, although on the other side the ground's 1 block higher, so all this has had to be increased by 1 block on this side, which is no big deal. I just did that quickly. So this, in a minute, you should see me cutting out here we go, here we're putting the squares in. This is where the courtyard will finally go. These outlines are just important, so these will only last 2 minutes I think, and then we'll have the entrance outlines set out and the building will progress. What you can see is here, I'm just going to put 2 towers defending the courtyards as well, because I do, although it's just Minecraft, I do like keeping it in some sort of like historic reference, so the fact that the castle will have to be protected means I'm going to have to put these towers on. I have used many references to other castles, real castles and fictional, so you might see some things that look similar. More specifically, when I'm building a big hall to accommodate some of the people in the castle, you might, if you are a fan of the Harry Potter series, you might see some similarities there. But everything else, the castle will be completely original. Like even if it is similar, it won't be exactly the same. So, as you can see, this will be like no castle you've seen before. I'm going to try and make it as impressive and as tall and as monumental as possible. So here we are. I'm just going to put a few more towers and a secondary entrance in a minute. This is me putting in. This is where the secondary entrance will go for like cargo, like horses, animals, all that kind of stuff that I'll need to actually get into the castle. But so that is pretty much done here for the outlines. I'm going to put 2 towers. Here's the first one going down, just to reference how big the main towers are going to be. So as you can see, they're not going to be nearly as small as the other ones. These are going to be some quite, huge ones. This here, just on the side here, is quickly, it's going to be a watchtower. It's going to be one of the tallest of the towers. It's going to look over all the land, but that's what this is being laid out for. This episode is primarily the entrance of the castle, so I'm just going to sleep here and do a pan out, and you'll be able to see our outline. So just as I get onto this hill, I'm just going to zoom out here and you'll see. As you can see, there's the bridge there, the courtyard on the left hand side, and on the right hand side of the bridge is actually the entrance. So we are going to progress in a very few seconds and actually start building this. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lay down all the floors. So this is originally the bridge. I'm going to use a range of stones. I like using stone slabs against the stone bricks and a range of different colours because it not only does it keeps it in context. We don't have too many like outrageous. We're not going to have big bright blues and yellows in the actual construction, but the different shades of greys and stuff just make it look a little more. I don't know. It just looks better with different colours in. So this is why there's going to be a range of shared resources really. So as you can just zoom in along, putting all this down, we're gonna have to fix this under here because that line didn't quite fill. But I did have a problem here. You can't put a stone brick slab with a slab with one of the other kinds. I don't actually remember what they're called, but basically we had a problem there, but it's no big deal. These are just like, these steps will be so like, obviously we reach up to the landscape. This is actually now I'm building in the courtyard. It's not going to be a huge courtyard, we might build a big one later, but for now all this is going to be is just a small thing. It's going to have a few trees in it, just to look quite pretty really. There's going to be a path all the way around it, and I'm going to build a cross through the middle, because this will allow access to every like diversion that comes off this courtyard. So I'm just going to, here we go, we blast in the middle of the courtyard. I just do quite a lot of this, you might notice, is I'm counting up the squares to make sure everything's in order, nothing's like off center. So see, here's me counting the squares again quickly and just blasting these in. These little squares you can see me leaving, I'm going to fill with grass, so then we can actually plant trees in each one, so there will be a few trees in the courtyard. Everything will have roofs over it when it's actually done. In the very first little opening video, you couldn't see them, but everything will be roofed. Hopefully this entrance will be done by the second episode completely, and then we'll do everything episode by episode after that. But as you can see, what I did actually choose here, I was going to use normal wood, but we've gone for darker wood because I think it just complements the dark greys a lot better. So you can see these are going to be used in all like the military zone. So these are towers where archers would obviously stand. So the towers are all going to have wooden floors, but anywhere where civilians or even the royalty in the castle will move will have either carpets or stone floors, but just these wooden floors here for the military access. All the floors are down for now. Sorry, I just must have missed one square, but all the floors are down for now. So just wait to see where I went on to. Oh yeah, here we actually built, this is just for reference, to build some steps down so we know where the entrance to the castle is going to be. So these are just a few steps into the castle. As you can see, these are just, they've not been like completely traversed down the hill yet, but they will do that later. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to build the bridge. At first I had a design in my head. I liked the idea of having, you can see me counting here, this big like, you'll see it's like a wall under the bridge, and what I was going to originally have were these crosses through it, just like it's quite a pleasant little decorative medieval bridge. But as you can see in a moment, I will like speed up and I'll have these built, but you'll see they don't work to quite the potential I wanted them to. So just like admire the view for a few moments while we wait for these crosses to be built in. I am going to build a whole range of stuff in this series, not just the castle. Once the castle's finished, obviously, there's plenty of more stuff I want to build in the area. Different kind of castles, different towns, local villages. It's going to be a thriving map once it's finished, but we're taking it one step at a time. So I thought start with the kingdom's castle. The centerpiece of the entire kingdom will be seen. It'll be seen from every range. Everyone will come and visit it, and it'll just look grand on top of this hill. So I'm building these rectangles into the rocks here. So this is what you'll see me here. I'm just using these little, it's going quite fast actually, but you'll see it in a moment. We're using these stairs to actually create the crosses. So when I zoom out in a moment, you'll be able to see these crosses effects. But, see, there we go. But they're not quite to the standard I'd like. So what I end up doing is I do build them on the other side because I've not decided yet whether I liked them or not. But what I did is I thought, nah, this isn't working for me. So what I will actually do is completely remove the crosses and just make the huge struts down to the riverbed below. So in a minute I'm going to end up knocking everything out. See, this is where I knock everything out. What I will do in the next episode is obviously extend these like pillars down into the riverbed, so obviously it would hold the bridge up. So the bridge, that's a rough design how the bridge is going to run down. Just have a quick sleep here to get the daytime back. So the bridge will be achieved in episode 2. This entire area will be done by episode 2, but what I'm just quickly building now are all the walls for the towers. The towers aren't completely built yet. They are going to be much taller in the final cut, but for now this is just how they're going to be built, like just about midway at the minute. So nothing's finished yet, so there's still room for improvement and a range of different ways for them to be built. All 4 are going to be built up here, but I've especially sped up the speed here because this will be an incredibly boring segment, just waiting for this to slowly rise above the landscape. But as you can see, my little motor skills absolutely blasting away there, getting hundreds of blocks down. Look at this, absolutely on the ball. Alright, that's pretty much done. What we're actually going to do here is I'm going to mess around inside the towers for a minute because I'm considering the bridges out of the towers for more defensive natures, but I'm a bit undecisive here at the minute. I try and build the struts on top. Look, these are the struts, and then I feel like the tower's not tall enough yet, so I'll end up like filling those in again and actually extending the tower taller later on in the second episode. So as you can see, this is me replacing those struts again. Like, counterproductive, but all in good time. This is actually when I plan out the bridges now. So I'm slowly just coming up with a few ideas. I am building this like generically. I've not got any plans previously to how I'm going to build the castle. So at these stages, I'm just throwing a few ideas together, see how they run. And this bridge across here is looking like quite a pleasant idea. So as you can see, what I'm slowly building is the arched bridge. I might actually build a roof over this bridge eventually and have like it as a gateway into the main castle, but we'll see about that in episode 2. But for now, this is just me building the set of bridges. As well, there are a lot of biomes around this area, so like I say, I'm going to build different stuff. But say I do build 2 towns, say one's just on the plains, it'll be like maybe a medieval town, but then I'll go into like a jungle and I'll be able to build an incredible variety of different types of villages and towns. The map will look very like well developed in the end. So Although this is the very first 15, well for me it was an hour's building time, but for you guys it's about 15-20 minutes, so yeah. Trying to build the castle just as good well as I could, really. I was gonna, what I probably will invest in is some world edit to make sure things grow quicker, like if I do have to do some more major terraforming, for example, or as well, the shaders mods will make the entire like recording of the castles look and villages and etc. look a lot better. So some shaders mods are probably included in the next few days. But for now, you can just see me. I'm just blasting out the ideas. These is a good idea. I went with straight away, and I thought, yeah, it worked well. Because these fences like this. It's just like a little grid. It just added something to the towers that they didn't, to the bridges, sorry, that they didn't have before. Just a little bit of structure, a bit of more of a nice pattern on them. So these are just a few struts on top of it. Just like obviously archers could be mounted on here. Just thinking of how it would be if it was an actual medieval castle. So we're just slowly building this entire place up, piece by piece. So yeah, smoothing off the archway there with a few stairs. So as you can see, this entrance is coming on quite a productive rate, considering really. Obviously it's sped up, but the speed, it's all coming together and it looks quite well already. As you can see, I'm just about to put in some actual floors inside here, because obviously people will want to be stood around in here firing arrows out these towers, which will actually have hold windows in them at some point as well. But for now, I'm just building the floors. We have that top floor to access obviously a spiral staircase will be implemented, or ladders as well. But as well, we have the top floor, which will lead to that high bridge I've just built. We're going to have a bottom floor, which will be the entrance to the tower, but then we're going to have a middle floor here, which is actually where I'm going to build the secondary bridges. What I'm going to have is, you'll see in a moment, is two bridges parallel to the main bridge. Because what this will mean is, like, say people coming in, but if a war broke out, for example, and someone broke into the castle, the armies will be moving across the main bridge. But with the two parallel bridges you can see being constructed here, one of them, the archers will be able to fire down onto the main bridge and just hopefully kill whoever stands in the way and tries to invade. So I'm just thinking quite strategically, really, in the building of the castle as well, making it look pretty. So as you see, it's going night time again. Hopefully I'll have got bedtime in pretty soon. So bedtime. I don't think I've said that since I was like 4. But anyway, still building the bridges here, all sped up obviously still. Getting some Skype messages. Let's just deal with that. Hopefully you shouldn't be able to hear those, but all's well. So yeah, building the bridges. Here we go, sleeping again just to make the sunlight come back. I will fit the entire castle with torches eventually, and it'll look illuminated in the dark, which is something I do really like on Minecraft. These bridges are being built similarly to the one that's going across the main bridge, with the same kind of style, with the lighter grey slabs, making it just like as the archway here. So as you can see, I'm just blasting these down, extending obviously the height of this one ever so slightly. The towers probably there about maybe 10-12 blocks high. When they're finished, they're going to be at least 30 blocks high minimum, these guard towers. So you can kind of imagine at the minute the scale of this castle. We're going to be touching the cloud pretty easily, considering we're always on a hill and we've got an extended height limit now in Minecraft. So it's all in good time. It'll develop and grow. As you can see, I'm going for the exact same style again. It's going to be putting the fences in later on. Obviously, this is, like I said earlier, it's going to parallel it. So on the other side of the main bridge will be the exact same bridge. So later on, I won't show me building the same bridge twice. What I'll do is I'll just like edit out the second bridge being built. But yeah, slowly and steadily, the castle's becoming a castle, really. This is like, as well, this is just the entrance. This is quite large for some people. Some people would say, ah, that's big enough for an entire castle, but for me, no. I like a grand scale in my castles. So what we're actually going to go for is, as this entrance is big, the entire castle will have to match it. Every time I look backwards there, you can just see the hill above. It's quite a vast landscape, that, and honestly, this castle's going to cover it. It's going to look incredibly impressive when it's finished. So I might try and throw in some little previews to what the castle will look finally later in a few next episodes, but for now, just carry on building this entrance, really. To admire my abilities of building at high speed. So yeah, you can just see that main tower on the right hand side, but now actually we're done, really. This is the entrance to the castle and it's completely finished. Well, I say completely finished, it's half finished, it's going to be done by the next episode. You can see just on the left hand side there, that's where more of the castle will grow. But yeah, this is my beautiful castle, and I'm very impressed with this entrance so far. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from building castles and have some ideas of your own. But anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ready.